Hi, Tekelo. Thanks so much for sending in your question. So this concept isn't very difficult. We just have to remember a couple of things when we're talking about rounding to the nearest five. And it's very important for us to remember these because they kind of make up the whole idea behind what's going to happen here. Okay, so let's just go over those rules quickly and see what they would be. So if I have the numbers 1 or 2, what I'm going to do is round off to the nearest 5, which means both of these numbers are going to go back down to 0. And I'm going to explain what that means in just a bit, and we'll see how it works when we're actually doing the sums. But if any of those numbers are 3, or 4, then we're going to round up to 5. And similarly, if our numbers are either 6 or 7, we're going to round up or down, we're going to round down to 5 rather. And if my numbers are either 8 or 9, we're going to round up to the nearest 10, which means that we're going to add a 10 to the number just above it. And we're going to see what that looks like in a minute. Let's just go through the first one. Okay, so let's look at the first number. So we've got 754, 386 over here. And if you want to see where we're going to be rounding up to the nearest 5, which one, we're going to look at this very last number over here. And that's what we're going to be doing for all of them. We're going to be looking at this number right here at the end. And that number is the one that we're going to use in order to determine whether we're going to round it to the nearest 5 or to the nearest 10 or to the nearest 0. Now, if we're looking at that particular one, we notice that it's actually 6. This last number here, 6. And we know that if we have either 6 or 7, we're going to round to the nearest 5. So our answer is going to change, and we're going to have that this number is approximately equal to 7, 5, 4, 3, 8, 5. And you see how I've taken that very last number here, the 6 here, and I've now written it as 5. And that's basically what we're going to do with the rest of them. So take a pause of the video and try and solve the rest of them quickly and see what you get. All right, let's see about solving the rest of these. I hope your answers are going to look a bit like mine. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, so if we look here at 591,832, you'll notice that our last number over here is 2. And we can look at our rules then over here. And you'll notice that if I have 1 or 2, then I have to round down to 0. So my new number will look like approximately, and this squiggly looking equal sign shows that we're approximating. We're just taking it to the nearest number. So that's what that means. So we're going to have 5, 9, 1, 8, 3, and then I'm going to replace that 2 over here with a 0, and that's the number we're going to get. Now, maybe we should just kind of take a guess at what the next number is going to be, because in the next one, we're going to replace 8. And our rule over here says that if we replace 8, it's going to take us up to the next 10. But that's 2 digits, right? If we look at it over here, this is 2 digits. So I can't exactly replace 8 with 2 digits, only 1. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do in this particular case. So when we round up, we're going to write 389, 700. And what I'm going to do with this 10 is I'm actually going to take that 1 from the 10 and I'm going to add it to the 6 over here. I'm going to add it in. So that number over there, the 6 over here, is no longer going to be a 6. It's going to be a 7. Then we're going to have 7, 0. 7, 0. And that's how we round up to the nearest 10. So when we say 10, what we're actually talking about is taking both the first and the second number and comparing them like that. Okay, I hope you can pause the video if you were a bit confused and try and do the last one, because we know that our rule here says that if I have 3, then I'm going to round it up to the nearest 5. So I'm going to have an approximation of 615,985. All right, and those are the answers that we're looking for. I hope this was helpful. Please look on the Watobi app under numbers. Try some of the other exercises that ask for rounding up to the nearest 5, to the nearest 10, to the nearest 100, just so that you get familiar with it, and it can help you just to understand the concept a lot better. It's a very important concept that you're going to have to use throughout maths. All right, see you in the next video.